and welcome to the Digital Signage Today podcast presented by Networld Media Group. I'm editor Daniel Brown at Digital Signage Today, and we have a very special guest. Ankur, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, hi Daniel, and thanks for having me. This is Ankur Ahlowalia, CEO of Korbyt. We are a workplace experience platform serving major enterprises based out of Dallas headquartered and offices globally. Good to be on.
That's amazing. And we've reported several bits of news about your digital signage efforts, but you do more than that. You cover the entire nexus of communications. Would that be fair to say?
That is a very good summary, Daniel. Yes, we've been in business 40 years. Obviously, our heritage is in digital signage, but as the workplace has evolved and with the emergence of hybrid and remote models, we are a workplace experience platform. Started our roots in workplace communications from signage to workplace communications and have now evolved to be the primary technology stack within enterprises that rely on delivering workplace experience, communication being a big part of it, and through other channels.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I'll tell you, it's very serendipitous that we're chatting today because I saw we just had some news from you guys. It looks like you had an acquisition recently with the
That's
NFS
right.
technology deal. What's going on there? You're expanding into new horizons.
That's right. Yeah, Daniel, last year we came under new private equity investment with Clearhaven Partners. And they obviously saw huge potential in the company. We have some very, very marquee clients. And we were one of the leaders in the workplace communications side of things. And the workplace, as it's evolving and with the emergence of hybrid working models, employees and workforce, whether you're frontline or desk employees, want the ability to come to office, collaborate, reserve their desks, reserve meeting rooms. So we've been working closely with NFS. It's a company based out of Europe, founded by a husband and wife, actually. And they really have one of the best solutions in the market that enable employees to reserve their desks and they deliver other experiences as well. So it's a natural extension of what we do and tightens up our positioning in workplace, from just a marquee communications platform to now workplace management, where we can deliver this collective set of experiences to the employees, whether it's communication experiences or engagement experiences, all in the hope to help attract them back to office and deliver. And also, most of the enterprises want to deliver a very unified brand experience to their workforce. And our platform, and with this acquisition, it just strengthens our position to do that.
Well, and I love that you mentioned experiences because we've covered this transition in mindset where not just for customers, but for employees, we're saying the workplace as an experiential location. Tell me a little bit about that philosophy because I don't think everybody knows about it yet. It's very important.
It's a definitely major trend in the industry, Daniel, where good old days, you had reserved desks and people were in office and that's where most of the productivities happen. And now with the emergence of both on-site, hybrid, and remote, the biggest challenge that everybody's trying to solve is how do we make sure that the entire workforce is on the same page, excited, collaborating, and being productive. And to bring workforce back into office, employees are demanding that the workplace where they come back and collaborate with their colleagues be fun, engaging at the same time, make it easier for them to be productive and they're in the office. So there's a lot of investment going on in workplace experience, which is mapping the employee journey in an enterprise, where they spend the time. And there's a lot of set of different experiences you can give to keep them engaged, also retain them, motivate them, and make them productive. And that's a big topic right now in all enterprises.
And that's one of the big things, there's a lot of worries about the economy. Are we headed towards some
That's
kind
right.
of maybe a recession? So companies are trying to save funds. And the fact is, the more you invest in your people in intelligent ways, the more money you save, which,
That's right.
it's a bit of a paradox.
That's right, Daniel. Just adding to that is one, right? There's if you have a lot of noise in the workforce, the less productive they are, the less your ability to retain and keep them motivated, excited. But also enterprises are now, with the economic factors in mind, If you look at an employee in a major enterprise, there's too many tech stacks, there's too many apps, there's too many places they have to log in, and conversely, enterprises have to manage all these vendors, have to invoice all these vendors, and have maintain legal contracts and back office functions. So, especially in the workplace, there's now a collision of one platform that can really do multiple things, can communicate and engage their audiences, whether it's employees or guests and visitors and so on. Secondly, is how do we connect different attributes in the platform, whether it's employee data, experience data, property management data. So how can you make the offices and office space and buildings more smarter and make it more give a more differentiated experience to the employees that makes it exciting to come to office. So there's actually a lot going on, from reserving desks, reserving meetings, collaboration spaces, and then from there, making sure that all the employees are on the same page and motivated and connected with an enterprise and the brand. Yeah.
So it sounds like that's kind of the whole philosophy of the Korbyt Anywhere, like integrate everything into one simple, one-touch location where everybody's on the same page. Okay.
That's right. Yeah. A lot of analytics that will be an AI, which I'm sure you'll be excited to talk about. There's a lot of work coming into like what kind of messages and channels do employees listen to or get engaged with. And conversely, when they're in office, where are they collaborating? What makes them more productive? Is there more technologies that can make them more cohesive with the team? So there's a lot going on, and we're collecting data from a whole bunch of places and with integrations and serving them back to the enterprises so they can make more intelligent decisions.
Well, I know there's not one silver bullet, but what would you say is part of the secret sauce of reaching your employees and keeping them engaged? What kind of strategies actually seem to work on the ground?
It's a really good question. Well, our platform now allows multiple channels, right? So there is digital signage, mobile, which is our employee app, desktop, and email. Those are our four channels that through our platform you can engage to various audiences. What we have found, again, there is no one particular method that works. A lot of enterprises are looking at various channels to communicate and connect with their employees. And some employees consume mobile better, some consume through other email better, and so on. So depending on the audiences, those channels are available. Our platform allows you to target certain audiences with certain type of messages. So you might want to target your manufacturing workers with a certain health and safety message versus office workers and so on. And that's what the power of our platform allows, is for them to play these, to utilize different variables in front of them and engage them. But more or less, we are seeing, at least the last few years, the more channels by which you engage, the better connected they are, the more informed they are versus being disconnected and uninformed.
So give them the freedom to choose how they engage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Signage is your biggest screen. It has the biggest impact. It's the biggest, engagement screen out there. Where if you have a big signage, everybody will notice. It's a blue light from the TV screen that gravitates your attention. So that's a great way to captivate attention, give bolder messages to your audiences. Whereas your employee app is more social media-like experience where they can like a post, they can engage, they can post themselves with some permissions and stuff like that. So depending on the audiences,
That's
we
amazing.
have various ways to connect to them. Yeah.
Well, and it's all changing so fast. It's almost dangerous to make predictions, right? Like following the trends, it's nuts right now. If you had to, though, if I held a potato gun to your head and said, what is the future in the next 1 to 5 years? Where do you see workplace communication going?
I think very integrated, data-driven decisions. Right now, I think, as you rightfully said, a lot of enterprises have best practices, but they're trying different methods to achieve the necessarily outcomes. I think with data-driven decisions, AI helping them, I think that's where this is heading. Where I can see a very smart, intelligent communications or workplace systems that can react and deliver different set of experiences to different audiences. And I think that's where this definitely is heading. And AI is going to play a very, very big role. We definitely see on the content side, for example, certain type of the day, certain traffic of the day. You can AI can get smart enough and say usually these type of messages resonate better with these audiences, and change the content that's already sitting in a pre-approved library, push it out. There are other AI applications we're looking at from meeting rooms perspectives and all that gives a better unified experience. So there's a lot of things we're in the midst of figuring out, and there are a lot of tools available with ChatGPT that we can use. And then we've been doing a lot of public speaking engagements as well on this topic, which is getting a lot of interest.
Of course, I'm envisioning the rogue AI of the future. It's Miller time. Everyone loves this message. Let's keep that up, right? Yeah.
That's right.
What would you say? We're in the early days, but what are some of the most popular aspects of AI that seem to be working right now?
Yeah, on the signage side, on the workplace side, we are definitely seeing, simpler content type of messages. The AI technologies are starting to quickly resonate, whether it's generating quick happy birthday messages or on the screens. These employees have birthdays, and those are today you can use basic chat GPTs models to kind of generate that. But when you start thinking of the complex content and data integrations and so on, I think there's some work to be done to figure out exactly how AI can help. And we're in the midst of having some deep discussions with our customers. We have some customer advisory boards that they're going to be starting to advise us on how they see the AI helping them in the enterprise. It's a very open topic. I'll be honest with you. Nobody's figured it out. But that's the potential.
Sure.
Daniel,
well, and I keep thinking about, and that's very helpful. I keep thinking about this, like with the NFS technology is one of many examples where so many businesses are saying, well, to hell with it. We're just going to have shared spaces because so many people are working from home. And some people say this is the future of work. There was I won't name names, but there's a famous tech executive recently that was in headlines for criticizing work from home, and then recently walked back his comments. What is the future going to be? Always hybrid? Will we always have a space for these kinds of tools?
I don't see how it goes away, Daniel. I'll be very honest with you. Now, there are some industries that return to work is mandated and it's needed to deliver the customer, experiences and the commitments. And then I think most of the other industries, hybrid work can very easily work. I mean, you can, for a couple of days a week, people can come in the office and collaborate. So to your point, there's a big shift in how office space is being designed. There's a big shift in, energy efficient systems and those kind of things, and allowing employees to have a good idea. If I go into this meeting room, I can control the temperature, I can see the CO2 level. So there's a lot of safety angles as well, and we are connecting into all those building management systems and other corporate, and we're trying to bring all that data, which is all folding under the umbrella of workplace. And giving that data. Yeah. So there is a lot of work coming. We have optics AI technology where some of our customers through the camera lens can see if Daniel is watching, and if Daniel is a male, and if he's watching certain set of content resonate with him versus different gender, right? I mean, those are the kind of thing, age demographics, technologies exist out there. We already engaged and connected to them. Now, how do you use that to achieve the outcomes for the enterprise is where we're trying to figure out.
So it's very similar. Well, it's very similar with the programmatic DOOH advertising world. The same thing they're trying to do with consumers, you're trying to do with, it's a different type of consumer. The worker is a consumer.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. And as you know, we our heritage is in the do networks as well. So we come from that side of the world, although we don't play in that as hard. But we do have customers that have employee networks, signage networks in-house, and we support, and they run it on Korbyt. We have banks that several marquee banks that use our software in the retail retail, right? So big banks, and small bank universities, they use our software to deliver student experiences. So whether it's employee, guest, student, customers, our software is being used various ways to deliver those messages to those audiences.
I love that, and this is ultra futuristic, but I'm just curious, especially with the workplace, do you see a space for augmented reality anywhere?
I wouldn't say no. Tech is moving so fast. I wouldn't say no. It certainly could be another way for workers across the globe to connect and have experience, have meetings, and I don't. I certainly see it. I don't know what the time horizon and how practical it will be
Sure.
for until we get to that point. But it's certainly some favor of it. I see it happening within the next 10 years, or it's starting to pick up,
Yeah.
if not sooner. You just never know with tech.
Our next interview will be totally holograms, just like Star Wars. It's
Okay,
going to be
that'd be
amazing.
awesome. I love holograms, by the way. I've done a few in my life.
Oh my God, me too. It's such a cool technology.
It is.
Next episode, we'll have you on to talk about holograms. It'll be great.
Okay, you got it. You got it. I'll be prepared.
Well, listen, Ankur, this is such great chat. I think we're up against time, so I will remind us that this has been the Digital Signage Today podcast. Thank you for joining us with me and Ankur Ahlowalia. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got some really exciting topics coming up this fall, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you, Daniel. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.